Would You Rather by Drywitdrywine. It started out as a regular game night with friends. He arrived at my house the exact moment Heather and Tim had, standing in my dimly lit doorway holding a bottle of Hendrick's, my favorite gin. The three of them smiling, chatting like old friends. In all honesty, he looked familiar, like every bearded 30-something man looks. And I convinced myself at that moment that I knew him. At his suggestion, we played Would You Rather, a throwback to our youth and simpler times. Make sure you're being completely honest so there are no regrets, he said as everyone began the game. Martha, my wife, began the game asking questions that had us swinging between fits of laughter and serious contemplation. Would you rather eat your mother-in-law's food for a year or live with her for a month? She always did have such a wonderful sense of humor. The drinks flowed and the rounds continued, everyone asking and answering in turn. The game itself was a lot more entertaining than we assumed it would have been. Well, that was until it was his turn to ask the questions. Heather, you look beautiful tonight, by the way. He turned his gray gaze on her intensely, smiling as she leaned in, cheeks flushed with drink. Would you rather cut off Tim's hand or cut off that beautiful hair of yours? Silence filled the room as we strained forward, awaiting a response. It wasn't a secret Heather was obsessed with her hair. She spent thousands of dollars a month having it highlighted, low-lighted, blowout, conditioned, and styled. To say it was her pride and joy would not be an overstatement. What kind of question is that? You know the rules. Your hair or Tim's hand. Which would you cut off? Fuck off, guys. I'm not a psychopath. Obviously, I would not cut off Tim's hand. I would cut off my hair. Tim let out a sigh, a breath he didn't quite know he was holding, and we all laughed. Now cut it off, the stranger spoke, handing Heather a pair of large cutting shears that came from nowhere. I would rather, she whispered to no one and grabbed a clump of her hair and raised the shiny metal scissors. With a fateful snip, she cut right down to the scalp. She began to laugh, frantically grabbing clumps of hair. Snip. Handfuls golden tresses falling around her. Snip. Throwing them around like confetti at a wedding. Snip. Cutting herself in the process. Snip. Blood began to drip down her face. Snip. Into her mouth. Snip. Unable to stop. Snip. Until every strand lay on the floor. Snip. Like a mutilated Barbie doll. I would like to say that we tried to stop her. Intervene in some way. That we forcefully removed the stranger and called the police. But we didn't. I don't think we could have. Once that first question was asked and answered, we were stuck. Unable to intervene or move. Unable to resist the game. I sat there at the old dining table we bought last October, thinking about my two beautiful children asleep in their beds, praying he didn't make me choose. I couldn't choose if I had to. They are my everything. They are our everything. So when he turned his gaze towards me and asked the question, there was no hesitation. I know she would have answered the same way had the tables been turned. In fact, I'm pretty sure she smiled when I answered. Protect the kids. It is ingrained in us from their first breath until the day we die. Hey there. I hope you enjoyed this narration. Please check out Drywitdrywine in the links provided in the description. You, along with the author of this story, are integral to the life and growth of this channel. Because without you, I would just be some guy talking to a mic to a pretend audience. Anywho, thank you for your support, and please like and share this narration so this channel can grow. Shoot, give me a dislike and a comment if you really hated it. That way I can at least grow from the criticism. Thank you and have a great day, and remember, don't invite strangers into your house. You never know what their intentions are.